Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of OEM TV. I'm Eric Mills with Microsoft. I do Windows Server marketing at Microsoft. And in this video, we're going to talk about Windows Server Essentials connected up to Intune. So Paul's going to take you through the concepts that you need to be familiar with Intune connecting to your Windows Server Essentials server. As you know, Intune solves a lot of problems. It solves management challenges, mobile device management, application management. It gives you a way to connect on-prem and remote devices and manage them all. So in this video, Paul will take you through what it looks like to set Intune up, what problems it solves, including selective wipe that people want to know about. So if you're interested in Intune and Windows Server Essentials and connecting those up, this should be a really good video for you. I hope you enjoy it. We'll see you next time on OEM TV.
Hi everyone. This video is a quick overview of Windows Server 2016 Essentials Edition and Microsoft Intune integration. From a high level, Windows Server 2016 Essentials is about safeguarding your business, improving IT efficiency and productivity, and then making you ready for the cloud. And the way it does that is in Safeguard Your Business. It has easy permission settings, just-in-time and just enough administration, Windows Defender for malware protection, and the ability to do trusted or secure. And then to improve IT efficiency and productivity, there's enhanced management experience with the Windows Essential dashboard. And then there's built-in services like file shares, web server, Active Directory, certificate services, the ability to do local desktop backup and remote desktop services. And there's also some PowerShell enhancements to make management much easier. And then being ready for the cloud, there's easy Microsoft Cloud integration. There's integration with Azure Active Directory, Azure Backup and Storage, Azure Virtual Networks, Azure Site Recovery, Office 365, Intune, and remote management. For this discussion, we'll be talking about integration with Microsoft Intune. So even small organizations have management challenges around devices. So part of the problem is you have a mixture of devices, and those devices can be on premises, they can be remote and mobile, and they can be comprised of PCs, laptops, tablets, phones, and other devices. And you need to enforce app and data policies. So application and data policies, what applications can run where, who can run them, what is done with the data on those devices, who can have data on their devices. And then you need to support bring your own device and various device life cycles. You have people that are transient and seasonal employees that have different types of devices, and you may want to manage their device while they are working for you, and then do something like wipe the applications and data, the company applications and data, when they leave the company. Those are some of the challenges that we look at. Now let's look at Intune, the ability to provide device management, application management, and even data management across a wide variety of devices from the Essentials environment through Intune to back to devices on premises and also remote and mobile devices. So let's take a closer look at Intune and how Intune delivers mobility management. So Intune helps organizations provide their employees with access to corporate applications, data, and resources from virtually anywhere on almost any device, while helping to keep corporate information secure. So what are the components here? So you've got mobile device management, so you can actually manage the devices. And then you've got application management, where you're managing the applications that run on those devices. And then there's also the ability to do PC management. So the PCs that are remote or on premises, you can manage those as well with Intune. The first thing that you have to do is with the device to get it into the Intune environment. So you enroll the device, and the policies that are set up in Intune will then be downloaded onto those particular devices. So you can deploy email, VPN, and Wi-Fi profiles, deploy access certificates, deploy and install the applications that you want them to have, deploy managed application configuration policies, so you can set up policies around those applications, and then apply and enforce device configuration settings, and then also collect hardware and software inventory data so you know what devices are out there and what's on them. In terms of mobile device management, you can apply and enforce device configuration settings across multiple operating systems and devices. And then you can manage the settings across Windows 10 PCs, phone, IoT devices via Intune, and that includes Windows Defender, the anti-malware, firewall, and Cortana Analytics. And then you can also collect hardware and software inventory data for reporting. One critical area that is provided is the ability to lock down the device. So a person has a device connected to Intune, and you can actually deploy policies using Intune to lock down the device so they can only run applications allowed by IT, and you can allow multiple users or only one user to use the same device and customize the device experience based on the login or the identity. And then you can also deploy device guard policies using Intune to allow only trusted applications to run on Windows 10 devices. There's also the ability to create an inventory of the mobile devices that are in your environment. So even small organizations with Windows Server 2016 Essentials, you can have 25 users and up to 50 devices. So even a small business would like to do mobile device inventory. So the hardware properties for the mobile devices are collected by Intune, and then the company application inventory is collected, and the personal application inventory is not collected. We'll talk a little bit more about how there's a separation between the company applications and the personal applications in a moment. And then you can also create reports on all of that inventory information. Mobile application management is one of the critical features of Intune. So the ability to manage the applications themselves. So you can maximize mobile productivity and protect corporate resources with Office mobile app, including multi-identity support, and then extend the capabilities to your existing line of business apps if you have them using an Intune app wrapping tool, and then enable secure viewing of content using the Managed Browser, PDF Viewer, AV Player, and Image Viewer apps. Critical piece is that you're managing the applications that are running on that device. So you're not only managing the device, you're managing the applications and data. And as an example, see that these are managed applications because they're business applications. You've got Outlook, Excel, Word, PowerPoint, Skype, and OneDrive. And then you've also got personal applications that aren't under the management umbrella, or they're separated. And let's give an example here. You can see that these are managed apps and then personal applications. And there's the ability to create a separation between corporate data and personal data that are associated with those applications. So if we look at this very quickly, so you have an email attachment that's got a Excel spreadsheet in it. And then the ability to copy it is there, but you cannot paste it to a personal application. However, you can paste it to a managed application like Word, but you cannot save it to personal storage, but you can save it to the company OneDrive. So that maximizes productivity while preventing leakage of company data by restricting actions such as copy, cut, paste, and save as between Intune managed apps and unmanaged applications. And there's also the ability to do a selective wipe. And this comes back to the transient or seasonal employees, where they can go ahead and use their phone with your applications, but when they leave the organization, you can perform a selective wipe via the self-service portal or the admin console and remove those managed apps and data. And then in terms of management, you can manage these devices from virtually anywhere. So there's a new intuitive dashboard, and you can configure and deploy policies and change those policies after you've deployed them if you want to have different policies. You can manage your software deployments, and you can respond to a wide variety of alerts on how the applications are being used, how the devices are being used, and there are also reports that you can create, and there's this concept of role-based management. So you can not only set the access policies, but you can determine who can manage that particular set of devices or individual device. So in summary, you can integrate with Intune through Windows Server 2016 Essentials. You can manage PCs, laptops, tablets, and phones, whether they're on premises or remote. And you can protect and manage applications, data, and devices. And you can configure and deploy policies across all of those devices and those applications and that data. And that management can be role-based, and then you can create and view reports. So thank you for watching.